Welcome to the Thought Snob Podcast. I'm Paula Swope. Let's get snobby. Today's episode is about how people with strong Saturn energy in their natal charts behave. It's an important conversation to have because human behavior has a reason. Although many dynamics influence how humans behave, such as, socialization and a person's overall health and well-being, astrology provides substantial data, and that data can help you understand other people and yourself. We're all so different. Understanding human behavior is imperative for all of us because life, it's about navigating relationships. Astrology has helped me understand people maybe more than anything ever has. God gave us free will. Free will can override just about anything, but the energy that influences us most often influences the choices we ultimately make. And I want to talk about all of the planets at some point, and I will, but I'm going to focus on Saturn today because Saturn is the one that I feel most connected to because I'm a Capricorn. And I've talked about Capricorns on this podcast before. If you want to watch those episodes, just go back to the Thoughts Not podcast. There, I think, been 2 or 3 episodes aired so far about Capricorns. But I just want to make something clear. You don't have to be a Capricorn sun sign to be impacted by this planet. Anyone who has strong Saturn placements will exhibit certain behaviors, and that's why I want to talk about and explain today. I want to help you understand why certain people behave the way they do and why you behave the way you do through the lens of Saturnian energy. Now, what motivated me to talk about this was something I heard in astrology class last week. Many of you know I'm a student at the Midwest School of Astrology. We had a guest lecturer named Georgia Stathis. Look her up. Brilliant woman, brilliant astrologer. When she talked about Saturn, she explained that Capricorns and people with strong Saturn placements are often separated from the pack. Saturn rules Capricorn, and I'm a Capricorn, so clearly I am heavily impacted by Saturn. Throughout my entire life, I've been separated from the pack. My family, friend groups, it's a pattern, and it's harsh, and I've been through it a lot. But at 49 years old, I finally understand why. I've questioned it so much because my intentions have always been to do right by people. I don't go around screwing people over. So why have all these relationships ended? Well, it's because I won't tolerate things that other people will. That's Saturn. And here's another thing. Those lifelong relationships, family, the best friends, the people who are like family, if you are with those people before your Saturn return, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a minute, everybody goes through a Saturn return around the age of 30. If you're with people before that Saturn return, those relationships are going to change, and they may not make it after that first Saturn return around the age of 30. Because when a person that has strong Saturn placements goes through their Saturn return, they're going to look at life a whole lot differently. And looking at life differently involves looking at themselves differently and looking at the people around them differently. Okay? I'll get to more of that in a moment. So Saturn is the last planet we can see with our eyes. And it has, icy rings around it. Capricorns are notorious for being hot and cold. They'll go cold on you in a minute. Now, that energy can freeze you up. You feel like you can't do anything sometimes. But when the world is falling apart, that's when us Saturn people do our best work. We are very resourceful during tragedy. And that's one of our major features, one of our best features. And you want Saturn people in your corner. If you can survive in our world, we're difficult to deal with, but we'll solve the damn problem. And we'll step up to the plate when no one else will. And we will stick beside you in a dark alley. That's a fact. As long as we like you. Now, Saturn is the reality check planet of the universe. So if you're close with a person who has strong Saturn placements, and that would be Capricorn rising, Capricorn moon, Capricorn sun, or strong Saturn placements in your chart, you're going to feel that reality check energy more than other people, and you're going to give it, okay? So, for instance, Saturn in the 4th house is a very strong placement. Even if you don't have, Capricorn as part of your major 3, let's say you have Saturn in Capricorn in the 4th house, okay? So that's rulership. When Saturn is amplified, that's when it's amplified, is when it's in its own sign. So it's 10 times as potent. With that placement, you'll go through many changes in who you are, but you won't always be able to see those changes happening. Look at your natal chart. Whatever house that Saturn rules is where you'll experience fear and judgment. That goes for everyone, all zodiac signs, okay? So Saturn seems very thick-headed, and that's because we value time so much. Time never comes back. I mean, that's why as we get older, we won't let you waste our time. We're not thick-headed. It's just, we're not going to let you waste our time. An energy vampire won't make it with us. They won't. Just forget it. They might last before the Saturn return. They won't after. And don't ask for advice over and over and over and then not take it. It's just one example of how you might waste our time, and we just get to the point that we're like, all right, we're done. Another thing, Saturn people are absolutely psychic. There's no doubt about that. We can see what's good for you. We can see what's bad for you. If we care about you and we watch you self-sabotage, destroy yourself, or behave ungratefully for the gifts you've been given, we'll separate ourselves from your pack. Now, if we watch you being handed a silver platter and you don't pick that shit up, oh, we're gonna have a really low opinion of you. And once our opinion of you goes low, it rarely comes back up. You'll think we're assholes, but at the core of our behavior is this. We cared about you. We spent time on you. We wanted more for you. You wouldn't get your shit together. And that behavior turns us against you. Once we turn, we don't go back. Saturn is life lessons and reality checks. Saturn people will be placed in your life to give you a reality check. That's why I'm telling you this, because either you check yourself or you don't. Here's the downside to us Saturn people. We won't disrespect you or cause drama, so we expect the same in return. But we may not tell you that. But if we don't get it in return, the respect, okay, our opinion of you will go low and the relationship won't survive. We can see through people. We know what the internal side of you looks like. And if what we see isn't good, we're going to separate from the pack. Saturn gives everyone opportunities to overcome fears. There are different life cycles to do this. Saturn gives everyone opportunities to learn lessons and do the right things, okay? Karma really steps in when a person doesn't learn those lessons. They absolutely screw themselves over. The way to learn Saturn and to master those Saturn lessons and fears is this right here. When you have a choice between pleasure and pain, choose the pain first. Now that's a metaphor for getting the tough stuff out of the way so it doesn't keep coming back. Because if you keep self-sabotaging and ignoring lessons, those lessons will get in your face. Now, people like me and most Capricorns experience a tough go of it early on. I mean, we're old souls anyway, but we can also be, really late bloomers. We usually don't get it together until the age of 30, and the Saturn return happens for everyone around the age of 30. Usually something happens around that time that forces growth, and you either sink or swim. Now, you can't hold astrology to a clock. The planets can speed up, they can slow down. It's somewhere around the age of 30, even as early as 28 and through like 32. You can go through that Saturn return. Now, if you don't grow or at least shift your mindset, the lesson that you're here to learn will keep getting in your face, and each time it's going to be a little bit worse. If you do Saturn right, there are major rewards later in life. Saturn people tend to grow younger as they age because they get the tough stuff out of the way. They don't let the bullshit linger and linger because they separate from the pack, okay? The more bullshit, the more people. I mean, that's just the way it is. Saturn people will not tolerate your bullshit. Looking into the face of a Saturn person may sometimes feel like looking in a mirror, and if you can't handle that, that person is there to teach you something. It'll make you uncomfortable, defensive. You might play the victim, but if you turn and walk away, you're just delaying those Saturn lessons and reality checks. If you do Saturn right, you should be in tip-top shape by the age of 50, okay? You should have, cleared out the trash, figuratively and literally, few people will be left standing. If a Saturn person leaves you, you need to reflect on the truth about what caused that person to leave. Okay? Now, I understand that not all Saturn people are healed. God, I was once one of them, so I know all about it. But if you're dealing with a Saturn person who has their shit together, look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. You have something to learn. God works in mysterious ways. Sometimes people are placed on your path and they're disguised as tests, challenges, reality checks, and life lessons. If someone challenges you, causes you to doubt yourself, or makes you angry or jealous, or whatever the negative emotion may be, look past the person as a human being and see what might be underneath. Because that person who challenges you might be the person who helps you become a better person. So I'm going to close this out for today, and I hope that this information helps you understand the people in your life a little better, and maybe helps you understand yourself a little better. And if you're enjoying the Thought Snob podcast, I would love it if you would like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next week.
The Thought Snob podcast with Paula has been brought to you by Thought Snob Media in association with Special Purpose Studios. All production, mixing, and sound engineering by me, Will Swope. We hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Please take a few seconds to give us 5 stars and leave a review. See you on the next Thought Snob podcast with Paula Swope.